Everyone, Dr. Jeff here with you again this week with co-student Maddy. And Maddy, what's the topic this week?
This week we're going to be talking about a condition called Morton's Neuroma. Morton's Neuroma affects the foot. We have a model here to help depict what's going on. So it usually affects the nerve on the top of your foot between the third and fourth digit. So there's nerves that run along the top, and sometimes they get caught in the fascia there. These nerves, if they get caught, become irritated and swollen, and this causes symptoms like burning and tingling sensation down your toes. And then oftentimes people will have like a feeling like there's a pebble in the bottom of their foot, in the ball of their foot, when they're walking, and a burning sensation down there as well.
So people that are more prone to this are people that, the classic things, they have a high arch, they have poor foot mechanics, they have flat feet. Also with this, ladies that like to wear high heels, really pinches that area off and can lead to Morton's Neuroma. Also people that like to wear shoes that are too tight in the toe box at the very front. This can happen with improper shoes, or even with people that do lots of sports that like running or courts where they tie their shoes tight, or the toe box is a little bit too small. That kind of pinches the front here. It can really wedge that nerve in between the toes.
Yeah, so the biggest thing to do to help treat Morton's Neuroma is to just stop the activity that's bothering it. For example, if you're a runner, just take a break from that, as well as change your footwear. So make sure that you're wearing shoes with a big toe box so that your toes have that room to kind of spread out and lay flat, and then don't wear any heels or anything that would bother your foot in that way. Some things that you can do at home would be like nerve flossing, like stretching your toes out and crunching them in. You could ice and do a little bit of stretching as well. And then some things that we can do here to help are some massage and like myofascial release, as well as some ultrasound to kind of break up the scar tissue in the area.
Yeah, as Maddy was mentioning, it is a fairly common thing. We see a fair bit of it. The one thing we have to do when you come in is we have to differentiate and call Morton's Neuroma versus a fallen med head. And what that is, we've talked about this before, is that you're first supposed to bend a certain way, and what can happen is the toe doesn't bend right and the metatarsal kind of drops down. That can feel like a pebble in your shoe as well. Quite often you don't get the tingling and numbness, but they kind of feel the same as far as the pebble in your shoe is concerned. The other thing we can do is, as Maddy mentioned, is get in and do a myofascial massage. We have to get our finger in there and mobilize the toes, make them move better, get in and kind of break up those adhesions that the nerve is trapped in. I also mentioned we can do some nerve flossing back and forth, opening and closing your toes. Other things we can do here is try and splay the feet a little bit. One way to do that is, if you have an orthotic, we can put a pad in the orthotic underneath the metatarsals there. What happens when you do that, the toes splay and straighten out. Also good for hammer toes, by the way. If you don't have an orthotic, we want to do something, I use corn pads here. So what I do is I take the corn pad and I'll put it behind the metatarsal head. Again, what happens is that lifts the toe up a little bit and splays the toes out, gives more room for that nerve and that fascia to get the nerve to get through the fascia. So those are a couple of things we can do here for you to try and help open that toe compartment up.
Yeah, so if you have any questions about anything we talked about today, you can email us at jgoldsworthy@goldsworthywellness.com, or you can send us a message on Facebook. If you like the video, be sure to give it a like and share it with your friends. And if you have any recommendations or anything you want to hear us talk about in a future video, you can give us an email as well. And as always, here at Goldsworthy Wellness, we got your back.